How's it going, boys? It's me, your favorite Snake Souls merchant, and today I want to talk about a pretty complicated topic, because most people are completely incapable of actually relating to it. I want to talk about how it feels to be the top 1% of a player base skill-wise, how it is to be a competitive player and such. So, it is something most people will not get, but I will try to give you examples how it feels and whatnot, and what are actually the problems. So, if someone does not know this previously, because I'm assuming a lot of people don't know about me, how competitive have I been in games and whatnot. So, for those who do not know about me, my greatest competitive achievements being the top percenter is in Dota 2. I have been at my peak the top 1% MMR player. Usually I drop down to like the top 3 and top 5 MMR percent players. Have had multiple rank 1s in different heroes, multiple rank 10s in also different type of heroes, multiple heroes ranked worldwide 1 to 10, and so on. Essentially, a lot of achievements. And I was one of those people who constantly topped the scoreboard. Most kills, least deaths, most assists, biggest gold, most items, biggest level and everything. So, I'm going to speak about some things that people do not understand. And I'm going to answer a question. Because now most days people know me that I play Magic the Gathering. And I completely make a fool out of it for being a competitive game because it's not. And a very popular question for me is, if you hate the game so much, why do you play it? Well, the answer is obviously simple, because the matchmaking is rigged. So this is what people don't understand about the top percentile of players. This is the most insane thing actually mentally for the top percent of players. I'm gonna use Tyler1 as an example because I have been watching his streams recently. He's a very good player. Now, I'm going to give you a really simple yes or no answer test. Are you actually even remotely good at League of Legends or, good in gaming in general? So, when Tyler1 just calls it GG 5 minutes into the game because of a bad score or whatever, do you think he's right or do you think he's wrong? If you think he's wrong, you're not a good player. Every good player, especially in the MOBA categories, can instantaneously tell when a game is just absolutely unwinnable in a situation just like 5 minutes in. In Dota, for example, this is an extremely underrated thing, but it's especially visible in mid lane. Like, a very good player can instantaneously tell will he just absolutely crush the mid lane from 3 seconds into the match when he sees how the opponent is moving and where his hero is. If you're not capable of doing that, congratulations, you're not a good player. It is what it is, boys. Small things like this are the shining examples what makes people extremely, extremely good at the games. Yeah, I know, probably offended a lot of people, but it's true. Not everyone can be the 1%ers of a game, and even less of those people can stand out. But it is what it is. So, I want to talk about match fixing. It's pretty, if you know what the match fixing is, you know what I'm talking about. The win rate. For example, in Magic, the optimal win rate is around 50%. Companies make money by getting people to that 50% win rate because that's the most engagement, that's when they're not bored to play, and so on. League of Legends, for example, has loser queue. It exists. If you do not believe me, congratulations, you're not a good player. Again, anything I say here and you do not flat out believe, congratulations, you're not the top percentile of players. It is what it is, boys. Again, sorry to offend you, but that's just life. In Dota 2, for example, if you remember my old videos that are all deleted now, you probably remember me ranting 10 minutes straight, constantly, and showing matchmaking histories, where it's the same exact string of things happening. Here's me, 20 kills, 5 deaths, 10 assists. Here's the other guy, 12 kills, 7 deaths, 3 assists. And then there's these three guys whose combined KDA is something around 3 kills, 30 deaths, 5 assists or so. And that happened constantly. That is match fixing. And you know what's the most crazy thing now? If that match fixing did not exist, I would have quit Dota so long ago. Because if you're a normal tier player, if you're not above the caliber, if you cannot queue in the top 10% of the player base and still dominate every match, you're just not that good. Again, it is what it is. Sorry to offend you. That's just the reality of things. But what happens if you're an exceptional player who pretty much dominates all of his games? Well, the most craziest thing happens. I played Dota around 6 games a day if I was losing. If I had a losing streak, I would throw in 6 games a day. If I had a winning streak, if I won 3 games in a row a day, I would not touch Dota. I would be like, this is boring. This is absolutely the pinnacle of boringness. And if I queued a 4th game the day after, and I won that, I would not be touching Dota for a day. That's it. When you are the pinnacle of skill, when you are that person who can shine in almost every situation, when you're the guy with the best KD, the best everything, it is a curse to win games. If you win multiple games in a row, there's just no enjoyment. You spend 30 minutes doing nothing. You spend 30 minutes absolutely achieving nothing. You were not challenged in any point. And that is horrible. You do not want to play the game after that. It is just horrible. Losing is more fun than winning. Same thing in Magic. If I would win 5 games in a row, I would be like, wonder what else can I do? Imagine if Tyler won 5 games in a row. You know what would be happening? I can predict what would be happening. The guy would be sitting there, not saying a word, and maybe saying, I got some MMR. And it would not feel good. He would not be satisfied because he would know that he is the only one who won the game. He would know that there was absolutely nothing preventing him to win and that a couple of people got a free MMR because of him. That's how it works. The only reason I drop MMR is the fact that, there were a lot of the games like I described where I was top shit. There was one guy who was kind of struggling, but, still pretty good. And 3 people who absolutely were probably, 100% needed to be in the 1k MMR bracket in Dota. I could have won a lot of those games solo-handedly, but my mentality is pretty much this. I am not giving these absolute losers, incapable shits, free MMR. No, I will rather lose than actually push these guys higher, because they do not deserve to be here. They are ruining my games. I don't care if I'm winning, I don't care if I'm losing, but these people do not deserve to be here. That's pretty much the only thing that kept me from getting MMR even in games where I won. Admittedly, Dota is a bit more complicated and sometimes you can't win a game just because, 2 people in your team don't press buttons and everyone just presses buttons on the enemy team. Doesn't matter if there's a skill gap. Sometimes you can't win games. That is also a thing. But still, are you starting to understand the point? And this is why rigged matchmaking exists. Because if someone is really, really good at the game and constantly pounds everyone, understands that he is the reason that the team won, and that no one in his team even matters except him, and all the enemies are below that person, it's just zero fun playing the game. It is absolutely zero fun playing a game at that point. Winning for a person who outperforms almost everyone is the most ludicrously painful thing ever, because you're not challenged. The only reason these people are good in the first place is because they took the time and dedication to become that good. And when they don't actually have to try to win, it's no longer interesting. And that is the biggest, most absolutely frightening curse that can ever happen. Now, admittedly, why I'm not rank 1 in Magic is also pretty simple. Wizards would most likely ban me, then let someone like me be rank 1 who openly criticizes their game, calls them a shit indie development company, and whatnot. Also, again, a card game that has lands cannot be a skill-based game, so I'm okay with that also. But it is a popular problem, and this is pretty much true for all the competitive games. And yes, this also does apply to normal people, but for normal people it's gonna be like, yeah, if I lose 3 times in a row, I'm probably not gonna enjoy the game and not see a point in playing because I'm just bad and I can't win. If a person does not outperform his team and the enemy's team, a loss for him is just detrimental because he knows he's shit. If you're a really good player, you know that the only reason you lost is because someone in your team was goddamn unbelievably awful and should not be in the same bracket as you. He would probably not even be near the same bracket as you in skill calculation. It is absurd. But it is what it is, boys. What can I say? If the matchmaking was fair in gaming, a lot of people who are really, really good would just constantly be switching games because no one wants to win 10 times in a row. Trust me, when you're queuing up for a normal game, absolutely no one in reality wants to win 10 games in a row unless they just want to climb a ladder or something. But even then it gets boring. Even then, you are 100% not satisfied with winning. So this is the reason matchmaking is rigged, and this is a lot of things. Like, again, most people don't even think matchmaking is rigged because they cannot be the best shining star in the team. They cannot be the best shining star in the game. Maybe they have this one game where they're really good, but the second time that time rolls around where they are the shining star is literally miles and days away from happening again. You know? So it doesn't exactly apply the same way as most people, but companies thankfully want to keep people engaged, and that is pretty much always the result of having almost a 50% win rate. The closer you are to 50% win rate, the happier you are. It doesn't matter if you're good, if you're bad, the happier you are. It's contradictory and sad, but it's true. No one enjoys winning constantly. Ask a gambler what would be hell for them. It's a hell where he gambles all the time and wins constantly and knows he can't lose. That is literal hell for some people. So yeah, this was Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the channel, check out Discord, check out the Patreon, check out everything, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.